What are goals? I think that was your original question. And that's what they are. They're milestones, but they're taking you somewhere.
Yeah.
Is the milestone up north, down south, back east, or out west? Because you have to know which direction you're starting. Right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, it kind of goes
And
without
I'll
saying.
just say too, if you didn't intend to run 9 miles, you wouldn't have run the first one. And by the way, I did notice that you dropped in 9 miles. You didn't say a mile.
Yeah, I run more than that, but I didn't say 26 miles because I'm not doing marathons.
That's right.
No, I think it kind of goes without saying. I think a lot of people have heard about goals, but we'll just mention it. SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific or time bound. Make sure that your goals are SMART so that you can actually measure them, you can track them, you know when they're due, and you can hold yourself accountable really to those goals. So a goal isn't just, I want to make $1 million. I mean, sure, that's maybe a benchmark that you're trying to reach, but it's not very specific. I want to make $1 million doing
but
this,
it's not
with this much
attainable
profit.
for a lot of people. Right.
Right. How much profit is in that? What kind of services are you selling? When do you want to do it by? What is your plan for doing it? All that kind of stuff. I think another thing is, do you find that people are reluctant to set clear goals, or maybe not reluctant, but not very good at setting goals for their employees, not just their company and not just themselves, but for individual employees?
Yes, that is a problem with a number of clients I'm dealing with right now. Is I have one client who had a list of 5 people, and he said, I don't know why these people are here. And we can get real mad and say, well, they need to be doing something. But it's on us. They need to know why they're there. They need to know how they're measured. And I think it was Andy Grove. See the guy who started Intel, right?
I don't know.
Well, anyway,
Beyond my time.
I have an epilogue or epigraph in my book, and he says at some point you need to be able to say we accomplished it, yes or no, no judgment, right? So that goes back to your SMART goals. People who work for you need to understand what their role is and what the goals are, and they need to know, did we do it or did we not? So we need goals all around, and getting an organized company, bringing it back kind of to the big picture. I generally throw goals into 3 different categories, and one's the big lofty goal, which is an intermediate between where you are and your vision, right? Mm-hmm. So my vision is to not have to come to work and have a system-run business, but employing people who want to be here and are good at their work and all that. That's my goal. I want to do that in 3 years. And intermediate might be, I need to write systems, right? Which is one of the topics today. And you can accomplish that goal. It's a milestone. It's an intermediate, and it might be a year-long goal. Mm-hmm. Writing systems might be year-long. What I try to get to with all the sessions of all my clients when we're working together, we talk about many things, big picture, lots of things, lofty goals, distant future, all kinds of things. But by the end of the meeting, we need to reduce it to something that somebody can actually do that week. Yeah. Okay. And I literally have a client last week, and they did it. I said, we're writing goals. I want you to buy a 3-ring notebook and tab dividers. And I want you to make a tab, the dividers that go in a 3-ring notebook, for a different tab for every box on your org chart. Just do that. That's a totally achievable, do it right now goal. And we made progress, and they did it. And it became apparent then, I said, look, we're going to have these systems all electronically stored at some point in the future. But by having it in a notebook, you can see your progress. You can see what you're doing. And we immediately wrote about 5 first step of, we'll talk about that in a bit, but 5 process outlines and put them in a notebook, and we made measurable progress at the meeting. So big lofty goal, often the distant future is the vision. The intermediate goal is some subset of that, a milestone that's taking me toward that vision. And then the actionable item, like the more specific goal is what do I have to do this week? It always has to come down to something you can actually do this week or maybe even today, because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, right?
It
If
does.
you don't take the first step, you're not going anywhere.